Recently, the modern audience in the gaming industry, talking about certain modern audience devs and corpos, have been getting absolutely destroyed. For example, Square Enix announced layoffs as part of US and Europe restructuring, the subtext reading, nearly all areas of Square Enix's Western business affected by latest cuts, it tells staff. This follows years of Square Enix trying to appeal more to Western modern audience types, including adding more DI divisions to their corporate structure. And funny enough, as they increased such things, they've been losing more and more money year over year. And now, wow, we've got some layoffs occurring here in the West. Almost like Square's realized that trying to appeal to the modern audience in the West really wasn't a great idea for their bottom line. And now they're starting to regret that, although I'm not going to give them that much credit just yet. A lot of people are talking about this Rihanna Gorman-Murphy individual, who seems to be one of the more high-ranking individuals that Square Enix just laid off. You can see she was a narrative designer at Square Enix. And apparently she's part of an organization called Limit Break Mentorship, which seems to be your standard DI sort of grift. And just a few days ago, she posted this, going on to say, "Unfortunately, found out that I'm impacted by the latest Square Enix layoffs whilst I'm on my honeymoon. Gonna be honest, folks, I don't know what to do right now, so I'm just going to think about things for the foreseeable. Square Enix was my dream company, now I'm shattered." On the right-hand side, we can see more information about this Limit Break Mentorship organization that she's apparently a part of. And it's the typical sort of DI grift you're all probably very familiar with at this point in time, as it's become quite prevalent in the gaming industry, where privileged DI hires engage in crony activism, complaining about white people having too much representation and making the implication that people who aren't white need their support to succeed, which is actually a pretty bigoted thing to say. By the way, it doesn't matter if you're a cishet white man or someone else entirely. Either way, you really shouldn't believe these sort of people. In my opinion, they're essentially overt con artists. For example, they're going to act like they're going to do so much to help you, but then you take a look at their programs and they're not free. They want your money. It's £30 a session, and they want you to have 6 months worth of sessions. So probably going well into the hundreds of dollars to get their, super valuable mentorship. Here's their sample video. You can see this person has a sticker on their shirt that says mentor. So let's take a look at this. There doesn't seem to be any audio, strangely enough. So that's why I'm kind of just filling in the dead air as we watch a little bit of this here. But yeah, apparently these are true gamers. You know, these are people who really love gaming and really want to make the gaming industry a better place, apparently. And they're going to do that by selling you courses that you're going to be required to take for 6 months. And at the end, you get their certificate. Wow, that's it's going to do a whole lot for you. 6 months of this for a piece of paper that's not going to get you anything. I would go so far as to say I think it might actually be the opposite. I think maybe there's some jobs you show up to with this certificate, they're going to want to not hire you. They're going to see that piece of paper and think, okay, yeah, in the trash this application goes. The issue I have with this promotional video, for the record, is there's no training going on here. These people are not learning anything. They're just like socializing and drinking. And they're trying to sell this as like something that's going to help your career. Obviously, it makes no sense. But yeah, that's just my opinion on what they're doing. And it's also weird, though, because to my understanding, the sessions are online only. Nevertheless, that video is certainly not painting a picture of hard work and success. And the fact of the matter is, unless you're like a Nepo baby, that's what's going to take for anyone to succeed, whether they're a cishet white man or not. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take passion. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. And then there's John Hynek, the former VP of Global Publishing at Blizzard, who joined Square Enix in October 2018 as Chief Marketing Officer. And this guy is someone who would routinely engage in extreme partisan political rhetoric on his public social media accounts that are directly tied to his corporate position. And oh no, what's this? Mere days ago, he's now saying that he totally wasn't fired from Square and is in fact totally resigning on his own will, giving up that executive position as Chief Publishing Officer effective on November 21st. Many people, of course, are skeptical that he resigned and that this wasn't a termination or a suggestion to resign, as Square seems to be cleaning house from some of their Western branches. As we read in the intro, for example, these layoffs at Square Enix are apparently affecting nearly all areas of their Western business. And then there's China's massively successful NetEase, who is shutting down a subsidiary named Bad Brain Game Studios, which is a developer studio based out of Canada. Now, I don't know if this Canadian studio, Bad Brain Game Studios, is another modern audience type of studio or not, so I'm not saying that they are. But it is simply interesting that around the same time that Square is divesting from the West, we've also got NetEase similarly doing this as well. Anyways, I saw that in the news today and I thought that was all pretty interesting, but let me know what you think. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys have had a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.